Sleep tight, my little AMC. Don't worry about those Chevy guys. They're just looking for something else to polish and show off their engines. We'll be good the way we are. Okay guys, we're going to take out these cam bearings so I can finish cleaning the block. This is the kit I'm using. Okay. Basically, this is the size I'm going to use. I'm going to hook it to the tool. We're going to put it in here nice. I'm going to tap the bearings out. So many words, and pop out the rear core plug. Okay. So, let's get working. Okay, look at the condition of these guys. Look at this. See where it's riding, and it was no longer touching. This is like sludge. So they're coming right out. They're all different sizes. I am numbering as I pull them out. So let's pop this fourth one in, then we got to take off that Welch plug. Oh, they lost the head of the tool. Another one wasted. Babbitt gone off it. Look, we got the pattern stuck. You got the Babbitt flaking off. Okay, I'm going to turn this off for a minute so I resituate. Okay, I popped out that rear Welch plug. Just basically took the tool apart, used the tube, just popped it right out, stayed away from everywhere else. Here are bearings numbered. We just got to take the last one out. They appear to be all different sizes. So not all manufacturers do that. So let's get this last one out. I got the tool set up in there. When you drive the bearings in, and we're going to put you, when you drive the bearings in, you have to cone it. If you want to drive them in square. When I'm taking them out, it's easy for me to control and just work it. You don't want the tool so big. I'll show you guys. You don't want this tool so big that this drags. Can you see my finger? This drags the bearing surface. Because if it does, either A, you're going to make the hole a little too big and the bearing could spin, or anything you put there, just picture the lady who slept on the P with the 10 mattresses. It's going to work its way up and you're going to have a high spot in the bearing. Not these bearings could be any worse than what was in there, but hey, do it the best you can and do it right? So, I got this thing spread realistically. Now if I keep, as I tighten this, I'll show you guys, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. If I keep expanding it until it puts mega pressure against the bearing, this collar has a good chance of dragging the block. So we don't want to do that. So with that, if the camera survives, why don't we give this last wackadoodle and get it out of there. Use common sense. I could see it moving from over here, and I'm just tapping it. If you're wailing on it and it's not moving, figure out why. I could have just as easily beat this one from the outside in. I do have the clearance. But then the block would have been right side up and I wouldn't have been able to see what I'm doing. I'd rather do it this way. Basically what you have is you have the bearing on the tool around these O-rings. And as you can see, this is a split, and the device I have in between actually is a wedge and widens this. Okay? Now, like I said, you want to have a decently snug fit on this when we're driving these bearings in, and it has to sit on this shoulder perfectly, and there's a collet that sits on this inner lip perfectly. Okay, and this shaft will be coned to hold it. And you take your time, and you got to put the bearings in right. You have to line up the oil galley holes and all that stuff like that. But for right now, we got these out. It's still on there. See, no real resistance on it. But this is what we're talking about. You can actually see the sludge that was in the back of the motor that I wasn't able to clean out because you had that galley plug on there. If you look, you could see what the bottom was because of this spring pressure pushing down, and the top wasn't really making contact. Plus, the babbitt was flaking off this one also. So, like I said, this oil hole has to be lined back up. I'm assuming I just spread this bearing. Yeah, when I tapped it out. But yeah, this oil hole has to be lined up wherever the oil hole is on these engines. This one gives you a nice long slot, but you're going to line it up here. You're not going to work your way up there. You actually put a little mark here on the block. You put a little mark on your tool. When you put the bearing on your tool, you just put that little mark on the spreader. So if I put it on like this for argument's sake, I'll just put that next to a mark there. I'll have a mark on the block, and I know to drive it to that location. So with this, the last step on this block right now is just a massive scrubbing. Then we start reassembly. So, but I had to do this to get to that stage. I left the cam bearings in just like I left all the bearings in there, except this one for some reason. Because if you leave them in there and you leave these things torqued down, okay, you're not going to get any rust that forms there. That's why I left them in there. So, the final piece of the puzzle was the cam. The cam was ordered. I ordered it through Summit Racing yesterday. Summit Racing does not stock the cam, so it's going to be directly shipped from ComCams to us. I will check back in a day or two to make sure that's not on some kind of weird back order, because if it is, and they can't give me the correct date, I might have to pay a lot more if I want it soon. But they told me it usually, I placed it last night, they would order it today and it would ship tomorrow. So, and if you do it that way, not only do you pay the Summit's price, you pay Summit Racing's price, not ComCam's price, but you still get the free shipping because it's over $100. So, with that said, let's take this out and investigate. Okay, we got most everything prepped. I cleaned the rail where the oil pan goes. The front is cleaned. Not mean cleaning dirt, just clean off any kind of gasket material. I did with a heads bolt on the deck. Next thing I do is get a little carb clean and a light Scotch-Brite pad. I want to go in there and clean all the bores for the cam bearings and some other areas in this thing, and do the final cleaning. I want to do all in here. This I usually put like a Scotch-Brite finish in all the core plug holes. I gotta pop out 2 more core plugs, which I can get to now, and give this a cleaning. Then we'll just start giving everything its final cleaning and assembly. So I was trying to get it assembled for this weekend, but without the cam being here, it's not gonna happen. I'd like to see if we kick it off on Memorial Day weekend, even though there's a lot going on that weekend. I'd like to see. We'll see what happens. So, and hopefully Ruben finds that vacuum leak, and that all works out. That would be mint if it was in there. And I don't know if you guys I'm watching Dizzy's going up against the school buses in his neighborhood for some of the illegal and foul things they're doing in front of his house. It's good to have somebody in the neighborhood that watches what's going on, to help keep, the law and everything upheld, considering the police, sometimes inner city police have to look the other way, or else they would never stop moving and fighting crime every second of the day. So, and I guess that's about it. And one last thing, I saw, I don't know if anybody follows me on Facebook or follows Kenny. Kenny, I like that one with the bathroom. I agree with you 100%. No doubt in my mind, that's the way I felt since the beginning. So, and I think non-parents feel the other way. I think anybody that's a parent and gives a crap about their kids would feel the way I feel. Especially if you have a daughter. I don't have a daughter, but I could only imagine. I wouldn't want to see it happen to my 83-year-old mother or my wife. So the statement I wrote on there is exactly how I felt. So with that said, guys, check everybody out on Facebook too. Most of us just post something a day. Kenny posts a lot. Kenny keeps up with the pictures and what's going on in the local scene with the cars. I mean, I don't really have time. I just post one thing a day. My Facebook is either cars, mini bikes, or something humorous if I can find it. And that's about it. So with that said, I'm calling it for tonight. This is another long day at work, and then out here a couple hours. I'm done. So with that, guys, I'll talk to you later. I guess on Friday. Tomorrow's model club meeting.